Ooh la la la, it's the way that we rock when we're doing our thing. Ooh la la la, it's the natural love that the refugees bring. Ooh la 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 la, sweet thing. It all fill us with the light of day. Joyful, joyful, love, we adore thee, God of glory, Lord of love. Hello lovelies, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to this reading for Miss Reader Diva Withertude. Name the film, name the movie. We are reading for Lauryn Hill today. I am so excited. I'm actually honoured and very grateful to even be reading on this wise woman's energy. If you like this reading, please do hit a lovely thumbs up and join our lovely community by subscribing down below. Please do leave your favourite Lauryn Hill, refugees, any Lauryn features down below. Some of my favourite Lauryn Hill songs are Turn Your Lights Down Low by Bob Marley. That's with her and Bob Marley. That's one of my favourites. I also obviously love Sister Act. That's named the film. Rita Diva Withertude. Yeah, I think she's an incredible artist and I'm very honoured to be reading for her today. So, as I meditated on Lauryn's energy, Spirit told me that she sees life from another level and her psyche and her spirituality is of a high level. They said it's higher than the average human consciousness. So she sees things, and they actually showed me her perspective and the way she views life, and she sees things in a different way to other people. She sees things differently, and it's really funny. Like when I was preparing, like you can see here I've got all the sage and the bits and they've come off, and usually I would wipe that all clear and I would start clearing. Her energy was just like, no, leave it, because she's very trusting in the process and the journey and the nature of life. She's very laid back, she's very chilled, she trusts in the energy and the way that Spirit leads her and the way she's divinely led. She's very trusting. Spirit tell me that she's also very outspoken. She can be very blunt. She says what she thinks and she means what she says, and there's no two ways about it. And because of that, people do mistake her and misunderstand her as being maybe like bitchy or rude, but it's not that. It's just the fact that she doesn't waste time. Lauryn Hill really appreciates and values the depth of life, and she isn't about wasting time lying and being untruthful and spending time with people who are wasting her time. Like, she values every single second of every single moment. Spirit said that throughout her life she has constantly felt misunderstood, and the only place I feel that she actually felt she slotted in was when she met the other refugees, and that was really a vibe and a synchronicity, and it was a coming together and it was a mashup. You know, they were the same but they came from different backgrounds, but similar backgrounds, but she felt understood there. Because of her spiritual depth, she has had a difficult human path and experience. She hasn't had it easy. A lot of the time she feels very like solitude and alone, but she almost is happy to stand alone. She's a very independent woman. She's happy to stand on her own. She doesn't really need backup. She can speak for herself. She can write her own, you know, speak her own truth. She doesn't need anyone to back her up. But you know, just to be understood sometimes, that was her kind of finding, and I feel like that was really the only place she felt she belonged. And I feel like the ending and the parting of that group was a real growing curve for her, and there was a lot of heartbreak that went on around that. And Spirit tell me that it takes a lot, because she is so trusting in the path and the energy and the flow of life. She is so in touch with that and so synchronized with that. She trusts in it and follows it so much that not a lot gets her down. But the one thing Spirit tell me is Lauryn Hill's kryptonite is love. Because once she loves you, because it takes a lot for her to love someone. She's very guarded, she's very protective of herself, she's very aware, her guard is up. So when that guard comes down and she does love you, if you hurt her, it cuts her deep. And she will cut you the F off. She will cut you the F off. Spirit tell me that she had a difficult childhood, and they say that there's a distancing from her mother. They said that her mother saw her as hard work and a bit too rebellious. Like, Lauryn Hill was very rebellious, and like I said, she was independent, and she's been that way from a child. She wanted to do things her own way. I've written that here. She wanted to be independent and do her own thing from a young age. She always wanted a big family of her own, to feel like she belonged somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to pull some cards now, and I'm going to tap on three further things actually. I'm going to pull the clarity and guidance spread just on her. Then I'm going to ask about her relationship with Rowan Marley, because I'm intrigued to see what that was like for her. I then want to pull on her relationship with the Fugees, how that went down, and their relationship now. And then I'd like to pull on what happened with the whole of her going to prison and the fraud stuff. Her energy is very protected, as you can very much imagine, so I've only got a light entrance into it, so I'm trying to work with that as much as possible, because she has allowed me to go in. She is aware that I'm working with her spirit. She's letting me know that, so I have to work with what I've got, because at any minute she could just cut me off. Like I said, she's highly aware, she's highly in tune, she's highly spiritual. She knows when someone's working with her energy, she can feel it. She knows I'm working with her energy right now, so thank you, Lauren, and I will try and be quick. Okay, so we're going to pull clarity and guidance for Miss Lauryn Hill. Okay, I feel like, yeah, there's something coming up for one of her sons. I feel like it's the oldest one. Is Zion the oldest one? I feel like he is about to either get married, have a child, or he's about to do something like of his own creative accord. So, Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill. Okay. Lauryn Hill. Okay. Lots of male energy around her. Lauryn Hill. Okay, I thought so. That's not representational of her son. That's representational of Rowan Marley. Okay. Ooh, she loved that man. Wow. I can feel it now. Okay. Lauryn Hill. Okay, perfect. Lauryn Hill. Absolutely. Lauryn Hill is Queen of Wands. She's very black and white. It's like, this is what you want to know. I'm going to give you what you want to know, and I'm not going to give you anything more than that. She's not giving me any tea. She's not giving me any secrets. She's not giving me any of that. It's like, this is as much as you're going to get from me, because like I said, she's very highly aware that I'm working with her energy, and Lauren is not someone you would want to cross the wrong way. Not that she's a mean person, but she will literally tell you how it is. Lauryn Hill. Okay. Okay. This all makes sense. This all makes sense. So, first of all, we have the King of Pentacles and we have the Three of Swords. Now, the King of Pentacles, I thought, and I feel like it could still be representation of one of her sons, because I do see a birth of either a baby or a new project or something creative for the son, something that's gonna bring him foundations, because Pentacles is the earth representation when it comes to the deck. Pentacles is representational of earth, Cups is representation of water, Swords is of air, and Wands is of fire. So the Pentacles is representational of home and like being domesticated and building your future and your foundations. And I do see that for the Sun. The Sun is investing money and time and energy into something that's going to blow for him, I'll be honest. I do see something very big coming for the Sun, like a project, but I also did hear marriage. So I do feel like either he's getting engaged or someone around Lauryn is getting engaged, but there's definitely a creative project coming up for one of her sons. But this king is also representational of Rowan Marley, and the reason I know that is because tied to this card is the Three of Swords. She loved that man, and when I mean love, like I said, Lauryn Hill's only kryptonite is love. When she loves hard, she loves fully, she loves with every single piece and being of her body, and she gave that man her all, her everything. I feel like part of her changed for that man. I feel like she became domesticated for that man. He changed her because he, as you know, he's a Rastafarian. Rastafarian traditions is all about, you know, women are homely. They are ones who look after the home. They're ones who look after the children. They nurture, they grow. And he really brought that out of her, because I don't feel like prior to him she had that foundation. Like I said, I feel Lauryn Hill had a turbulent upbringing. I don't feel like she had a steady home life. And I feel like when she met this man and she wanted to have this big family, he gave that to her. But he also stepped out on her, and that's her words, because I would never say that. I would say he cheated on her, he stepped out on her. That's how she's putting it. He stepped out on me. And not just through cheating and not just through that kind of way, but through like emotional neglect. And you know, she's saying, don't get me wrong, we had good times and he was my best friend at certain points and we got along and we were a unionship, but he definitely stepped out on me in ways that I couldn't forgive, because I am so loyal and I am so giving of everything I am that I need that back, and he just wasn't meeting me in that way, and he did. He broke my heart. But it's the Three of Swords representing that heartbreak, which means there was a third party involved. However, she did move on, so I'm just gonna, she's very dominant. She's like, no, you're gonna read for me like this. Okay. Like I said, she's got me leaving sage crumbs and incense crumbs over the table. She's like, no, you're gonna read for me like this. So she would like me to turn those over because that is done. So she moved on from that, and she, the Six of Cups is about triumph and reward, but it's triumph and reward of moving forward. It's about letting go, growing from what you've been through, developing more. She's saying, from my marriage, I learned so much and I grew so much and I developed so much spiritual depth. And that's what she was. You know, if you see the Six of Cups in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, it is a man on a horse with a crown, and he's got a crowd of people around him applauding him. So this is her being recognised for her growth, and I feel like she put her pain and her suffering and that healing and all of that went into her music, because she's talking about songs like Peace of Mind and how that wouldn't have been possible without that marriage. That marriage gave her everything. And she's saying, especially my kids. See, I told you she's very connected to me right now. She's very aware that I'm reading for her. And it did give her everything, because the Nine of Cups, when it comes to women, is the abundance card. This is the card that is about having everything you want. This is about riches, fame, fortune, money. But not just the outer things. It's about the inner things as well. Feeling good within yourself, feeling feeling enriched, feeling alive, feeling glamorous and luxurious and happy. So she's saying, from that I gained more. So yes, it hurt, but I gained from it, and it's okay. We then have the Hierophant and the Queen of Wands. Now, the Queen of Wands is Lauryn Hill, but she's saying it took me a while to mature into my Queen of Wands, and I did act out. There were times when I couldn't channel the fact that I spoke my truth. I would say, I would be rude about it. She's being honest, I would be rude about it. I would be dramatic, I would be a diva. She's like, now I'm older and I know how to channel it and I know how to work myself. It's a little bit different. And there was a man who guided her, because the Hierophant talks about a wise teacher, an authority figure. There was a man in her life who guided her. It's not Rowan Marley, but there was an older man who helped her harness her power, because she is powerful, she is very knowing, she's psychically intuitive. Lauryn Hill is someone who could read you just by looking at you. She's very good at reading energy. She works a lot with energy in everything she does. She meditates, you know, this is no surprise. She's obviously a very spiritual being. But there was a man who helped her dive in deeper to that, and she's acknowledging that through these cards, because she's saying, through him I was able to develop into this Queen of Wands. I feel like she's in a new relationship now with a new man, because it's bringing out her inner Queen of Cups. And the King of Wands is representation of this new man. And I don't know whether he's, like, they're married or what, but there's a balance. Obviously, King of Wands is fire, Queen of Cups is water. And I feel like she's either collaborating with a man or she's working with a man, but there's a man that she's got in her life right now. Interesting. I see. Okay, this is representational of Wycliffe Jean. Okay. Oh. Okay. She's talking about her deep love for Wycliffe. I feel like she wanted to be with Wycliffe. But Wycliffe wasn't interested. I don't know if Wycliffe's already got a wife or he's been with someone for a long time and was already with this person when he met Lauryn. But she's saying if that person hadn't have been there, she definitely would have shot her shot. But she's saying because she's so clever. You know what, I see what she's done here. At the beginning of this reading I said we're going to read on her clarity and guidance, we're going to read on Rowan Marley, and we're going to talk about the Fugees. And she's in the reading, like I said, she's aware that I'm reading for her. She's like, no, we're not going to pull all those cards, I'm just going to do it in one and then we're done. So she's talking about Rowan, she's talking about where she is, and now she's talking about the Fugees. And she's talking about how they had all the elements, and if I probably pulled another card, it would probably be a swords card, or it would probably be a pentacles card, because she's saying each of us had our own element that we brought to the group. But this is specifically representational of Wycliffe, and she's saying I fell in love with him because of how he made me feel. He brought the, you know, King of Wands is a passionate leader. He's a person who will bring you out of yourself. He will rise you up, he will make you feel good. And she's acknowledging that. She's saying he lifted me, he brought a lot out of me. For my whole life I was told that I was too rebellious, I was too this, I was too much, I was too hard work. And he said no, you're empower that. So she's showing her love and her gratitude for him with this, and how he brought out the element of the Queen of Cups within her. But I also feel with this that there is some kind of project that they're working on that is coming up, because I don't know if we've passed it, but I feel like there's some kind of anniversary coming up for the Fugees, like 25th or 20th or 30th anniversary or something, and I feel they're going to do some kind of collaboration when that date approaches. So she is saying we're still in contact, we're still friends. Now there was one thing, Lauren, that you haven't actually addressed here, so maybe it's because you don't want to talk about it, I don't know, but it is the whole fraud thing and her going to prison. So I'm going to just pull 3 cards on that, because she's making me feel, she's saying people that should have had my back didn't have my back, and that includes myself. I should have been more aware of what was going on, because there is an element here of feeling as if she got screwed over. Okay. Absolutely. Okay, this card came out when I did my pre-pull, so I'm not surprised to see that. Okay. What happened with the whole thing? Okay. What happened to the whole fraud thing, Lauren? Yeah. Okay. There was a guy who she was involved with. He was like an accountant or something, but he was a young guy. And she's saying I should have really seen it, I should have been more aware, but at the time I was dealing with a lot in my life, and I was also feeling a bit lost. So I put all of my trust into this guy who was not trustworthy, who did not know what he was doing. The Page of Cups is an immature person who can come across very good at convincing this guy, very good at convincing you that he is, knows all the stuff, has all the tools, knows what he's doing. He's very good at that, very good at that. But in reality he doesn't have what it is that he's saying he has. So he's fooling you. He is basically lying. And there was a guy who she was involved with, who she let take care of business matters, who was a complete and utter liar. And it screwed her over. And she's saying, don't get me wrong, I turned my blind eye to a lot of things because I had a lot of other things going on in my life at the time. But she's saying, she learned a lot from that situation. Like I said, Lauryn Hill is not someone who dwells, not someone who worries or regrets. She trusts that every single thing that's happening in her life is happening for a reason. So it's like, even when she went to prison, yeah, she was pissed, but she was like, okay, there's a divine purpose for this, there's a reason for this. And she's saying, when I was in prison, I learned a lot about myself. She's saying, I also met a lot of fascinating people. This is a woman who embraces life, who embraces every single experience in life, who knows that she is divinely led, who knows that spirit and God are guiding her at all times. So she knows at all times she's protected. There's literally zero fear with this woman. She's fearless, and I mean that because, and the reason she's saying the reason I'm so fearless is because I know that I'm protected, and that at every single stage and with every single thing I'm going through is for a greater good, and spirit and God have put me there. So if they've put me there, it can't be for a bad reason. And she really honestly believes that. She's very into her faith. She has very strong faith, very strong belief, very spiritual and in depth. She's such a deep woman, and like I said, the way she's made me do this reading, she's not silly. Like, she's not silly, she's very sharp, and she's got her eye on the ball, and she's very wise. She's saying, but I do drop it occasionally. And I think it's very important for her that she actually ended this reading on the Ace of Pentacles, because the Ace of Pentacles, as we know, is the highest financial card that you could have in the deck. And she's saying, my finances now are smooth. She's saying, but not only that, like we talked about earlier, the Pentacles represents Earth. And this woman is very in touch with the earth. She is of the earth. She believes in herbs and medicine and growing your own herbs. And obviously she's, I believe she's vegan and she's Rastafarian. So she believes in eating from the earth and growing from the earth. And she's very of the earth. She is of the earth. So it's very important that she's landed that card as the final card, because she's saying, I am good. Everything I've been through has led me on top. There's no drama here, there's no toxicity, there's no hate. Everything I've been through, from rowing to the Fugees to prison to my acting career, everything has left me on top. And not financially and not, you know, materialistically. Yes, I have those things, but the most important thing, she's like, well, she's going to end on this now, which of course she is. Of course she's going to end on this. She's saying the most important thing you will ever have is peace of mind. And I've got that. God bless. Peace out. This is her. She's actually speaking through me. My goodness. That's never ever happened with someone who is on earth. It happens with spirit. It happens with spirit. They can talk through you. But that's never happened to me with someone who's actually still here on earth. And she just wants to cut everything down. Like, just shut it down. Just say, stop writing drama about me. There's no drama in my life. I am not someone who lives by drama. I follow in the flow of the rhythm of life, and that's it. Whew, she's a passionate woman. That's why she's Queen of Wands. One thing she did say that I forgot to actually mention is she talked about the ending of the Fugees, and she's just saying that quite simply, we just grew apart. We did what we needed to do in that short amount of time, but we also realised we would be more beneficial as independent artists. That doesn't mean we're not still the Fugees. That doesn't mean we're not still a team. I call on them. They are my brothers, and we are still together. That is just why you saw the ending of us publicly. And that's it. That's it. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading, for this wise, wonderful woman. Again, please leave your favourite favourite Lauryn Hill song down below. Hit a lovely thumbs up if you enjoyed this reading. Subscribe to join our lovely community. You can follow me over on Instagram, where we have lots of fun outside of the YouTube channel. And I will see you soon for another reading, lovelies. Bye.